guys, it's Jessii Vee, and today I'm here with Mama Vee.
Hello, everyone.
And we haven't done a video together in so long.
Been forever.
I know.
You know?
Yes.
And I'd just like to say that I'm so happy that I get to be here with the sunflower background.
Yeah.
Because that just says fall to me. I don't know what
Really?
it is.
This
Totally.
is my last summer background.
I don't know. When I see the sunflowers come out, I think fall's just right around the corner.
True. Okay, so today we're gonna go through my entire Lyme disease journey from start to finish, because I know you guys know what I've been through, but you haven't heard the entire story, and I have all kinds of footage to show you. It's like a documentary sort of thing today. So that's what we're gonna be doing, and it's kind of cool to see a different sort of view from my mom as well, just to show what we went through together and as a family.
Not a fun time at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But before we get started, we have some exciting news. My mom wrote a book.
I wrote a book.
Yes, so I'm gonna let her kind of talk about it right now.
So a lot of you know Jess's sister's story, that she was bullied severely in high school to the point where we actually had to remove her from school. She was on the news. There were newspaper articles written about it. It was quite a horrendous, hard time in our family's life. And it happened, what was it, 6 years ago?
About, yeah.
And probably 6 months into the whole incident, I started writing a book. Anyway, today, fast forward, it's done.
It's done.
So excited. And what I really would like to see with this book is that it speaks to people being bullied, the bullies, and more than anything, the people standing around watching and doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's called The Painful Years. It's a great story. It's a true story based on actual factual events that happened with and it's Mandy's story. Jessie's in it.
I am in it, yes.
She's
I was
in it.
there.
Yes. We kept all of we changed the names of everybody else involved.
Yeah.
But we kept our family name in it so that you would know, because you guys know the V family. So please download it. Let me know what you think. Share it with your friends.
So I'm gonna link it down below for you guys to go and download. It is a digital copy, but once you buy it, you'll get access to it right away so you can read it.
So it's not like those things where you have to order and then wait.
Yeah, it'll right away.
Order it and it pops up, the whole
Yes.
file. So enjoy. Jessii designed the cover.
I did.
She did. So there you go.
Yes. We're so awkward. All right, so let's get right into my Lyme disease story. So we literally have a paper here with all of our notes because so much happened over a year or a year and a half even that we have to like remember it. So it's all written down. So if you see us looking down, it's because we got our notes here.
Yeah.
So I have told you guys this before, but the way that I got my tick bite was going on a hike with my ex-boyfriend. And I posted a bunch of pictures of that hike on Instagram, so you guys have seen where I was. But what I wasn't doing was protecting my body. So I went there in like shorts and a tank top with running shoes with my heels out. Like I didn't know anything about ticks or Lyme disease. So I went there and I was posing by the trees and like
leaning on the trees.
Leaning on the trees and like by the bushes and like on the ground posing and doing all these things. So eventually, I'm assuming it's from the tree I was leaning against. I had
Or also, I think maybe you were doing a lot of hikes during that time. There's actually footage of you doing some discovery where you were looking at old buildings and stuff like that. And,
ghost hunting.
Right, ghost hunting.
Yeah, it was that year that you guys saw all those ghost hunting videos in the forest.
So you were going through a lot of bush.
Oh, yeah.
And like, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. And my mom and my family even, we had no idea about ticks. Like at all, really.
No clue.
Yeah.
I thought Lyme disease was something that, celebrities got.
Celebrities got?
I did. Something that, because you heard all of, some famous people that had it and that struggled with it, but you never heard of like a next door neighbor or, a person down the street.
So I remember on my hike, I felt like this little pinch on my shoulder and I looked over and there was this black bug and I flicked it off so fast. And when I got home, there was this huge red ring of a bite on my shoulder. And I was like, oh, it's probably like a black fly bite or a mosquito bite. I wasn't even thinking about tick. And I was looking up images on Google and I did see some tick bites pop up, but I was like, no, it's not that. It's like a mosquito bite. And I showed my mom and she was like, that looks a little infected.
I said, I've never seen a ring like that.
Yeah.
When you have insect bites, they get swollen, they even get a small ring. But the ring took up her entire shoulder blade. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before, and it kind of bothered me a little bit. So I said, you better take a picture of it and show the doctor.
Yeah. So I got the bite in May. So all of June and July, I started to feel very unlike myself. Like my joints were hurting, my back was hurting so much, my muscles were hurting. I felt like every day I had done like a huge workout, and I was tired, and I just felt like fluish and just very, very strange. And I know that whole summer, like every other week or every week even, we were at the hospital.
Yeah, you had some severe headaches.
And stomach pain.
You had stomach pain, and one of the worst parts was your heart. Remember, you had an irregular heartbeat, and you had chest pain and all kinds of things. And we were like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So then I think you went to our doctors, our family doctors, and we said at that point, you did pull out the bite mark.
Yeah, I had the picture of the bite that I showed our family doctor, and I was like, could this be related to why I'm feeling so sick? And he was like, no, you're fine. Like instantly was like, it was a bug bite, it's gone now, you're good.
So I mean, this is a family doctor of 23 years. We're gonna trust him. And we went about our business. So no antibiotics were given.
No.
Nothing was done. And you proceeded to get worse.
I got worse, and I remember that I went on tour and I did the Running with Violet series, and that whole entire time I was feeling so off, and I know my family was noticing it, you guys were noticing it, and I just couldn't figure out why.
If you look at the videos she did during that particular time, you'll notice that the videos per week got fewer and fewer and fewer. There were days where she couldn't get out of bed. And literally in a dark room because she would get vertigo when she stood up. I can't tell you how many times. We even went to the hospital with the picture and showed the doctors in the emergency rooms.
No one seemed to care, so we didn't either. We're like, if they're medical professionals and they don't think it's a big deal, why should we?
Not one person said, oh, you got a bite, you have all these symptoms. No, what kept happening was they would send her, you even had a colonoscopy at one point because of your stomach pains.
Yeah.
You had heart tests, you had, like...
I went through so many unnecessary tests looking back on it.
At one point, an emergency doctor took me aside and said, I think she's depressed. So I went back home and I sat by her bed and I said, Jess, could this be depression? Could this be, because depression actually does give you symptoms. And
same with stress and stuff.
Right, anxiety, any of those things, they're real issues. They can actually give you symptoms. And so I sat by her bed and she looked at me and she said, Mom, I have suffered from depression. I've had anxiety. This is not it. This is like nothing I've had. And she was crying and she said, I can't explain to you. It's too much to get up and go downstairs to eat my dinner. That's how she was feeling. And I said, okay, something is not right. At that particular time, we had a family, a relative who was a doctor, and we decided to send him the picture of the bite and all of her symptoms that she'd had over the entire year. And he immediately responded and he said, this looks like Lyme disease.
Right away.
He said, she needs 10 days of antibiotics right away. And he said, it might even be too late. Like, you got to get them immediately. We went back to my doctor. And in the meantime, too, I had also gone to a naturopath who, when I heard it was Lyme disease, I knew she was an active person in treating Lyme disease as well, because I figured our doctor didn't know anything about it. And she ordered some blood work, but she couldn't send it in. She said, you have to go through your doctor. So we went back to the doctor's office. We said, look, this is what it is. We've been told by another medical professional, look it up online if you want, and we've had a family medical doctor say this is what it is. Still,
he was shaking his head. He's
still,
like, no.
They didn't want to give us anything, any treatment, anything. So I had pulled out a letter from someone in the medical field that was actually an advocate for Lyme disease, who said that you did not have to have a positive blood test to be treated, because they realized at that time that a lot of blood work came back negative. That were
there's so many
positives.
strains of Lyme disease that they only test for a handful, so you can have a different strain than what you're testing for.
So he ended up giving her the 10-day treatment, but we went back to our doctor afterwards for the blood work so that we could confirm what we felt we already knew. And he said, I can't do this. He said, first of all, he denied ever seeing the bite.
Yeah, he's like, I never saw that. So he denied ever seeing the bite, even though I told him, like, no, we were in your office, we showed you the picture, and you said it wasn't anything bad, but he denied ever seeing it.
He denied even seeing the bite.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, I was trying to get her to see a specialist, and like I just needed him to get the blood work and to work with us. And he looked terrified. He said, if I order this blood work, I could lose my job. And right there and then I stood up. I said, Jess, let's go. It feels like we're all alone in this journey. We walked out of our doctor's office and we left our doctor of 23 years. Never went back. Because I felt so disappointed and let down. You know, that something like this could cause so much. It's the lack of knowledge that concerns me. Any hospital you go to in the US, if you go in and you have a bite, because a lot of people don't even have the bite mark, but if you have symptoms, they'll immediately say to you, have you been on a hike lately? Have you been camping? Have you been in any long grass? Is there a chance you could have been bitten by a tick? Those are the things you're asked at a hospital.
I don't know why Canada is so far behind.
It's actually scary how many people could be suffering that have never been diagnosed. And that's what we want to advocate today, is that if you have a bite, and even if you don't have a bite, but you have all of these symptoms and you have been in long grass without protection, you've been in a wooded area, it can be your backyard, because as Jess has spoken about before, birds carry ticks. Protect yourself if you're going to be outdoors. And make sure that if you have these symptoms, that you know about Lyme disease. All it takes is 10 days of antibiotics to get rid of.
But you have to do it right away, because I think you have a 3-month time span.
You do.
And if you don't take those 10 days of antibiotics between that time span, you're just like me. Like, I had to go on 3 months instead of 10 days because I waited so long.
And today Jess still has problems from long-term antibiotic use, as well as Lyme disease symptoms, because it doesn't always get rid
go
of
away.
everything.
You can get rid of a ton of it, which is what happens. I'm able to get out of bed now, and I'm feeling a lot better than I was a year ago, but every so often, every couple weeks, I'll get a symptom that comes back.
And for those of you who don't know what Lyme disease is, well, first of all, go back and look at Jess's videos on Lyme disease, because she explains it really well. But it's a bacteria that gets into your blood when the tick bites you. And no, the tick does not have to be on you for 24 hours. The minute the tick bites you, it releases the bacteria into your blood. So it's a matter of getting that antibiotic treatment right away. And that's as simple as it is. It's not complicated. It's not like, you have to have this ring around the bite. You have to have a tick on your body for you to have Lyme disease.
It doesn't have to be embedded. It could bite you and 2 seconds later fall off.
That's right. And that's why a lot of people out there are not diagnosed and are living with Lyme disease. And the long-term effects of untreated Lyme disease can manifest into many different chronic illnesses that people have today. We happen to know a young girl your age suffering.
She's 22, I think.
In Canada, and we really hope to get an interview with her really soon.
She's in a wheelchair now from this illness.
She was unable to get treatment in Canada, just like everybody else. And the treatment overseas, we were able to get Jess help in New York.
We were so lucky to find a doctor.
Fantastic doctor. And we found out she treated Canadian patients who were not getting the help in Canada. When you're out in the grass and you're enjoying nature, please enjoy it, but enjoy it safely.
And inspect your body and get someone else to look at your skin as well. That's what I always do, because sometimes if it's like on your back or something and you can't see it. Yeah.
You have hair like Jess's, braid it.
So many bugs can get in this, guys.
That's right. Braid it and put it in a hat. There's so many things you can do to avoid this awful, terrible, debilitating disease that will be with you for life if you don't take care of yourself.
And I also want to say, I got a lot of DMs from people saying they think they have Lyme disease, but they're too nervous to go to a doctor because they're scared of the treatment. Because I guess you guys saw my 3 months of treatment. And I just want to say, it's better to do 3 months of hell, basically, than your whole life of feeling so sick and getting worse diseases and illnesses.
The bacteria multiplies over time and it feeds. So every time you have sugars, or that's why diet is so important for Jess. If she has a bad day of eating, she suffers. It's not gonna get better over time. It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. If you think you might have Lyme disease, there's nothing wrong with going on that 10-day treatment if you don't have it, because it's not gonna harm you if you don't have it. But if you do have it, it'll get rid of it.
The thing about antibiotics is you don't want to misuse them. So we're not promoting that you use them for no reason.
Oh no, but if you have symptoms of Lyme, that's what I mean. Like, don't just do it
Right.
randomly, but if you have symptoms, you know you're on a hike or something like that.
Yeah.
We're not doctors, we can't tell you what to do, so definitely go see your doctor
Yeah.
if you're going through this. This is just our advice because we've been through it.
We want to advocate for it, and we are now partnering with a fantastic foundation, the G. Magnata Foundation for Vector-Borne Disease. Is phenomenal. We met Rosanna Magnata. She's a powerhouse.
Yes.
Fantastic woman who really advocates for Lyme disease. Her foundation has done more work in Canada than we've ever seen before. And she's like leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. We're going to put the link to her foundation. If you can support it, that would be fantastic, because every dollar they get is being used to fight this disease. And we've seen it. We support her foundation.
Yeah.
Her husband died of Lyme disease. So this is more than a foundation for her. This is her life
Her
work.
passion.
It's for in his name, and we know the fantastic work they're doing. So please, please, please support them. They also have, because Magnata is a wine company, they have a wine now. They've just released it this summer that for every wine bottle bought, a portion of the proceeds go to this foundation.
Their new wine is called Venture. I know you guys are probably, a lot of you are underage, but tell your parents, or if they're out and they can get it for themselves or their family.
Every bottle is going for a really good cause.
So if you guys want to donate, the link's going to be down below, but it's basically a research lab at the University of Guelph, and they're changing the way that Lyme disease is treated in Canada. So anything would help, because we really want to change. We don't want people to go through what I went through, and this video is not sponsored. This is just us telling you this out of our hearts because we want to help. So definitely check out that link down below. Tell your parents, tell your family. It would really help.
Buy that bottle of wine, because it's
If you're of age. If you're of age. Alright guys, so thanks for listening to our story, and I hope you took in everything we're saying, and please listen to your bodies, please stay safe, protect yourself.
If you're a doctor in Canada, please get educated about this awful illness,
And how to
because
treat it.
if you treat it early and you get it early, then you can avoid all kinds of problems.
Okay, Mom, well thanks for being here.
Thank you
with
for having
today.
me. Please check out my book. I'm so
Yes,
excited.
that is down below too. So many links down below, guys. So after
Link
this video,
City.
look at all the links because we have so much linked down below.
Thanks for having me again. It's so nice to be back, and I hope that back to school for all of you is really wonderful.
Yes, I hope so too. And I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye!